Page 54, Shepherd's Song. At the top of the page, they're introducing a new musical term, a ritardando. Now, normally in music, you'll just see RIT period. That's abbreviation. Or you might see retard period. Rit or retard. They mean the same. Ritardando is what it means. It's an Italian word. It means to gradually slow down. I think of it like a train going on the tracks, and as it pulls up to the station, it just gradually comes down to a stop. And that's sort of what this is, except you don't necessarily stop. You just slow down a little bit. And that's what it is. Look at the bottom of page 55, the last two measures. You see a ritardando there. That's where you're going to, the count. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So if I play the last line on page 55 with that count straight across, is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Just keep the count going. That's what we've been doing most of the time. Now you slow down, just start counting slower. So if I play the last line and slow down, it would be this way. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, off. So even in the last note, when you're holding it, you still continue to slow down. So it makes it like that last note, that dotted half note, is longer than 3 counts. It's not. We just slow down the count. When I do the play with me's and I'm playing with a metronome, I can't do that. The metronome won't retard. So we ignore that. And you can do the retard part on your own. Now let's talk about Shepherd's Song. 3/4 time. At the beginning, I'm going to kind of take both hands at the same time. The first line, it starts out down here with a little finger on C. Put your hand in that position. If you look at the next measure, it has a C for the right hand but no finger number. Not a lot of help. But go down one line at the beginning of the second line. You see the 5 with a box around, that's a measure number. Some publishers use measure numbers. It comes in handy when you're doing a duet with people, because then you can say, let's start at measure 7 or whatever, and you can both find where that is. But they're at measure 5. It says third finger on the E. So if I do that, the hand's in this position. And if I do that, then on the first line, the thumb's going to play the C. So we figured that out. And counting isn't a problem, I hope. Quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Do you recognize these notes? This chord, it's a broken chord, a 1 chord, a C chord, a tonic chord. Ring a bell at all? Second, this first line is kind of an introduction. It's not really part of the piece. The piece starts on the second line here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Now the melody's in the right hand. We want to hear that when the song starts. The first line, it's all melody. Second line, measure 5, the E, it's got to be louder than this. So you decide how loud medium soft is, because it says MP. That's the melody. How loud do you want medium soft to be? And you make the left hand softer than that, whatever that is. 2, 1, 2, 3, 2. Now in the left hand, at the last 2 measures of the first line, this is a nice light wrist staccato. You're on the keys, you just push down and bounce off. Go on. They put in a P there for the left hand. That's unnecessary. You're staying under the melody. It has to be soft. The F, we want to hear that F in the last 2 measures of the first line on page 55. We want to hear that F all the while you're doing this in the left hand. So keep the left hand soft. So however loud this is, medium soft, the left hand's got to maybe very soft. Because we need to hear the F above all that. And then go on. down first measure. The left hand you got to move. You've been in here. They want second finger on the A, so you got to move up here into this position. You have rest before it. You got time. They even put a note in there, move up. Normally you wouldn't see that. You got to figure it out yourself. So you're here, you're ready to go, and then for the last measure on that line you got to move back down. So just be aware you have to move the left hand. That's fine. So starting with the third line, you're here, 2, 3, 2, 3, and then the last line is not part of the song anymore. It's just like a tag added on to the end of it. Last measure, that C has an 8 VA under it. You gotta go down, remember? Okay. I don't know if I really have to explain all these things each time, because I've only explained them a few times prior, but maybe you didn't see the few times prior, so I feel like I should explain it. Now, work all that out. As far as their phrasing goes, I got problems with what they're doing. All I can tell you for now is go ahead and follow the phrasing marked. They're not really phrases so much as they are slurs in some cases, but go ahead and follow them. If you follow the sentences and the words, they're different than the curved lines. Maybe you can choose, well, I'm going to phrase it according to the sentences and the words, in which case there's only 2 phrases in the thing, and it ends, the first phrase ends at the end of the first line on page 55. Keep in mind the first line on page 54 and the last line on page 55 are not part of the piece. They're extra. One is like an introduction and the other one is like a coda. They're just extra stuck on, so I'm not counting those when I talk about phrasing. On top of that, we need to add the pedal. The pedal is going to just kind of connect it. You don't need pedal on this piece. You can play it really nice without it. I just did, more or less. But they added pedal, so let's go ahead and stick it in. I'm going to push the pedal down right after I play the notes at the beginning. So that's C. And I'm going to hold the pedal down all the way through till the last 2 measures on page 55, or the top of page 55. It's just all one pedal, according to what they're doing. So let's do that and see what happens. It sounds like this. Now I lift it up when I play the F. I don't use the pedal again until the very last line. If that sounds okay to you, go for it. I don't care for that sound. I don't like it being all run together. Now some pieces kind of have that atmosphere of running it together. That's fine. This is not one of those pieces. So I'm going to recommend a few pedal changes here. You can take a pencil and mark them in and you decide. But I'm going to pedal all of the first line like they say, like so. At the end of the line, I'm going to lift it up right before I play the E in the right hand. Now the left hand doesn't lift up, it's legato, you stay down, but the pedal, I'm going to lift the pedal up right before I play that E, so I clear out all that sound from the first line, so it sounds like this. I'm going to change the pedal between the second and third measures. The idea of changing pedal, we talked about changing pedal. The idea is that changing pedal means you let it up and push it right back down. You don't have to be quick about it, just let it up and back down. You got plenty of time. And it's going to happen right after I play the E in the third measure here. Then I'll lift the pedal up. So the pedal lags behind the fingers a little bit. It overlaps just a hair. So it's like this, starting with the second line on page 54. This way I clean out some of that sound, it doesn't keep it going. Then at the last measure on page 54, I'm going to lift the pedal up with the right hand, and I'm not going to push the pedal down until I play the first note on page 55. In other words, I'm not pedaling the last beat on page 54. So to start again on the second line on page 54 and go on, it's this way. You don't pedal again on the next two lines. We need the staccato. If you pedal, you'll cover that up. So don't pedal that. And then on the last line, you can go ahead and pedal the whole line like they say. And then at the end, the hands and the pedal all come up at the same time at the end of 3 counts. Like so. That's the pedal. That's complicated, you don't understand it, then just pedal it the way they're doing it. I like to do this slowly together with you to double check the notes, and I don't see a lot of problems, but let's just make sure, because you can play a wrong note even on the easy stuff and not even realize you've done it. So let's check it. I'll give us 3 counts, so go ahead and put your hands in C position, foot's on the pedal. 1, ready, go. 3. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 2. 1, 3. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, off. Now there is a teacher's part at the bottom for a duet. I like to do that part so you can play what you just played, but I'm going to speed it up a little bit. Not much, just a little. And then we'll have a duet. Now you have to be able to play the whole piece without any hesitations anywhere. It's got to flow. The beat has to keep going. So don't bother with the duet until you can do that, because it won't work. Because I don't hesitate on this. I keep going, and if you hesitate, then we're lost. So I'll give us 3 counts. Now I'm going to need you to go up an octave, so instead of here, just pretend middle C is up here on the piano and go up here. Play the whole thing here. So go ahead and put your hands in C position up high, and your foot's on the pedal. I'll give us 3 counts. 1, ready, go.